Well, howdy doody doodies. You know, last week we talked about thinking for yourself and what the real reason might be that people are leaving religion, because it just don't make sense to blindly believe without investigating and looking into it. But what I want to talk about now is the teaching, the real, genuine teaching. You know, a lot of people, one boy I was talking to, another minister, I was talking to him last week or so, and he had to quote Revelations. Oh, Revelations this, Revelations that. We're getting ready for the apocalypse, and it's going to happen. And it names, well, it tells you in the Bible about 144,000 people are going to go up there to heaven. No, that ain't right. And then, but that's what it says. Names different numbers, but in different places it says different numbers, and that's kind of interesting for you to look up. And the thing is that Revelations was written about 200 years after the resurrection of the man they called Jesus, the Jesus of Christ. And this is the whole thing. All through Jesus' ministry, he kept trying to get everybody to quit believing in him. He said, don't believe in me. It's the Father within that doeth the works. Now, why did he say Father? Because in those days, that was the authority figure, was the Father. He ran the whole thing. And so Jesus was his God, was the Father. And that's what he related to people as. But he could have said the Spirit within, the God within. That's what it is. And God is within. And Jesus was the Son of God, and so are we. And we need to express more of that God. All you got to do, if you want to do that, is to follow the teachings of that man, Jesus. JC and the boys came out with the right idea. They spread it on and on just the way it was. Truth and love, give it out, and no matter what happens, give it the love. Well, old Paul, actually he was Saul, and he was a murderer. A lot of people don't know that, but he was a pretty bad individual before he became Paul. Yeah, he was a tax collector, and he didn't mind chastising people with the whip or taking away everything they had. He did it. In fact, he admitted it. He said, I was a bad old character, had an affliction, and nobody's quite sure what that affliction was. They said he was a woman hater. Well, that's an affliction. But he also had a limp, they say, so maybe that was the affliction. But affliction doesn't matter. What matters is Paul did see the truth. And he, more than anybody else, he started the churches. He started the religions. The Christianity that we have today is started by that man. They supposedly followed Jesus. Well, if they did, then they loved each other no matter what they did. They gave love. You know, they talk about Jesus' miracles. Well, most of his miracles were cures for different affinities and affinities, listen to me, afflictions and sickness and those type of things. Well, Jesus had a good idea about people. He'd say, hey, go and sin no more. He never said, don't do this and don't do that, or you have to do this or you have to do that. And people have told me, they said, well, Jesus did say, whoever believeth on me shall see the Father. Well, that's true, but not on the man. He was referring to you believe in what he taught, what he stood for, what he was. That's the whole thing. Now, I'm telling you, do that. Make your life so filled with love that no matter what happens or how it happens, you can still love. Does that mean you have to like everything? No. You know, I don't like the things that these radical Muslims are doing. In fact, I absolutely dislike them, but I do love them. I love them because they're all a child of God. And I'd like to help them see the light. I'd like to help them get well from their affliction of hate. I'd like to see all that. I want to help them do that. How am I going to do it? Am I going to do it by condemning them and telling them how bad they are? No, I'm going to do it by giving them an example. I'll love them, but I won't let them trample on me. I won't let them hurt me or my family or you. No, I want to stop that. Sometimes it's like an unruly child. You have to grab them and hold them while you talk sense to them. Well, I don't expect you to do that all yourself. Grab yourself and hold yourself till you talk sense. I think you wouldn't be watching this if you didn't want to talk sense to you and to find out what's really happened. So let's go and love more. Real, genuine love. Until next week, God bless you.